Silent is the guy coming from Texas, and really excited to see him. He said he's going to destroy like all the other Phonons, I think he said. So
yeah.
I'm pretty excited to watch him play.
Yes, so this is one of the characters we were talking about before that we're first seeing now. Phonon, definitely one of the stronger characters in the game, considered widely one of the stronger characters. Very long range, but her pressure from the mid-range, and there was that mix-up. I heard that only works on two-player side, is that right? The cross-up and then out of the corner?
I don't know if that was fully cornered, but there are some really interesting like right side only or player specific like left rights you can try and do. So that might have been, yeah. But yeah, like you were saying before, Phonon, great range, and it's definitely a character where we might see some matchups where the other guy's just blocking Phonon until they get exploded. So we'll see. But yeah, Phonon also has some pretty amazing close range tools, honestly. She's got
her 2A,
overhead.
I think
she's got great 2A. Yeah.
I think she has the best 2A in the game.
No, it is, for sure.
5 frames, low, Gatlings into itself.
Yeah.
Super far range for how fast it is.
Yeah, I mean, for a zoner to have a tool like that, it's actually a super big deal. That 2A right there
that little
really opens it up, because I think the big thing to remember for you guys watching is that most of the mix-up in this game is point blank.
Right.
No matter what character it is, if you're looking for how people mix each other up, it is right in front of each other. Is it throw? Is it button?
Right.
There's
It's a lot of
defense.
frame trap.
Yes.
It's not as like traditional high-low as a lot of other games. Not that many characters have good overheads. Yeah, it's definitely more, although I was just going to say, so Phonon doesn't have like a command overhead really.
Yeah.
She has dash B hold and, whatever.
Things
but
like that.
Yeah, but her best overhead is a universal mechanic we haven't talked about much, Assault. It's like a universal short jump, which normally stuff right there, she did Assault A, which is very fast. Normally you wouldn't be able to combo off that.
Yes.
But again, the versatility of Chain Shift allowed him to cancel it and get a full combo off of it.
We're probably going to see a lot of that from Phonon, honestly, this weekend. So you all should definitely pay attention to this character for sure. Well, honestly, both these characters, because Nanase, the best Japanese Nanase players here, and
there's multiple good Japanese
Nanase players. It's actually crazy.
Yeah.
I can't stop talking about just the diversity in this tournament. But Silent, up one game now, and really putting in the work here. Oh, there we go. The same thing. Good. He actually blocked it that time.
Yeah,
though,
I'm impressed. I don't know that I would have blocked that.
Yeah. Greyfaiden, again, just gets opened up by the overhead. Like you're saying before, using Chain Shift to cancel off and get that full combo.
And here's that mid-range pressure. This is exactly where Phonon wants to be.
Oh, yeah. So there we go. Like you were saying before, using Chain Shift to try and see the gap, try and do something. Unfortunately, though, Greyfaiden was in a situation where even seeing the frame chop, Nanase's reversal doesn't really go that far, so it looked like it wasn't going to reach. That's definitely a situation where it can be very hard, even with Chain Shift as a defensive option, against a character like Phonon. You might not even be able to do anything, even if you see what's going on. Greyfaiden, though, finally getting a great turn here on offense. Has Chain Shift, too, so there he uses it, looking for something, catches him in the air, but no combo. Ooh.
Yeah, Nanase's control in the corner can be very good, especially against a character like Phonon, but he's not really getting anything off of this. Oh, tricky nice!
I like that.
Face the shield.
Yeah, that's the Force Function. So Force Function is this special move everyone has. It's kind of like their unique character option. And Nanase is this to float.
Right.
So you're definitely going to see a lot of Nanase just using float to go into making fireballs in the air, or just as a movement option to try and get around stuff. A lot of damage here coming out from Silent, though.
Yeah, and a lot of grid, too. Yeah, he immediately CS's he wants the meter.
A good tech here from Greyfaiden, so let's see. Oh, no.
Oh, no
punish. And a shield. That was actually so good.
Yeah. He can still take this. Nice block on the overhead. Oh! Try to hit something after. That overhead is minus on block.
So Silent going to move on in winners. Good stuff to Silent. Again, looking forward to seeing more from him. A lot of people, I think, are expecting him to do well today.
Yeah, Phonon, pretty interesting to watch. We talked a lot about how blocking can be good in this game.
Yeah.
I think Phonon is probably the best example of that because she can really keep you blocking a lot. She has reverse Gatlings that are very minorly minus.
Yeah.
And at that mid-range where she's right at the edge of her whip range, a lot of characters can't really contest.
Yeah.
So she'll just pressure you with rebeats over and over. But you have to keep in mind that even though it looks very oppressive, she's not mixing you
Yeah,
up.
there's
She's
no
not
mix
really
up there.
doing anything. If anything, she's just giving the opponent an opportunity to shield.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Once you start to see that, it becomes a mini game in itself of how is the opponent shielding, and she's going to look to reverse beat when she expects to shield.
Yes.
Because if you shield and don't shield anything, in some cases, without getting too specific, you'll actually lose grid. So that's really how a Phonon player would take advantage of that situation and not just lose every cycle.
Yeah, you're going to probably see a lot of that particular strategy come into play this weekend here. We talk a lot about the green shield, basically, which is shielding while blocking. And if you don't catch anything, then you're actually super minus, and the attacker actually can keep attacking. So green shield baiting is what we call it, is something that's going to come out a lot. And definitely Phonon is one of the best characters to utilize it. It's like, oh, you think I'm going to press the button again? I'll just do nothing. Oh, it's my turn again. And yeah, Phonon just a character where, honestly, if you don't have resources, the game plan really is to just block.
Yeah.
Get grid, try and win Vorpal, try and get resources, and then try and do something, because some characters really actually have no real other good option other than really risky maneuvers. And that is still fair. You know, that's something unique to this game, is that it's totally okay to be able to do that.
Yeah, and that's what I want to stress. And I keep saying that because it looks bad if you don't understand, like you said, the context. I think is a great word. The context of the grid. It looks horrible.
Yeah.
But it's really not. It's actually to the blocker's advantage in those situations if they're able to shield well and they're not getting their shield baited. It's actually to their advantage. So that's really something that you have to come to terms with when you play the game. Blocking is good. That's why I love this game. Blocking is good.
I mean, I love playing, but also just as a commentator, as a caster, it is so fun to talk about because of, like you said, that context is just something that is hard to really get tangibly in some other games, but in this game, it's just so ever-present that you really get a lot of opportunity to talk about it and use that to really talk about the player mindset. It's just really fun to analyze.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe we could take a second. Actually, we talked about grid and shielding a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe we should take a second to talk about shield breaks.
Ooh,
because we've seen a bunch of those, and we haven't really taken the time to point them out yet. But that's another way that you can take advantage as the attacking player. You can take advantage of bad shielding habits if you pick up. This game is a lot about the micro reads. So we talked about, you know, it's not just enough to get the habits of your opponents, but you have to put it in the context of the grid cycle. So one of the ways that you can take advantage of the opponent shielding predictably is to shield break them. So basically, if you can hit the opponent while they're shielding, their shield or their grid shatters, and they can no longer win the cycle. They can't use their D button. Basically, they can't shield, they can't assault, they can't guard thrust. Yeah, it's really hard to win when you get shield broken.
Yeah,
so
it can feel like a game-losing situation. As soon as you get grid broken, it's like, oh.
Yeah, exactly. Especially like the first cycle.
Yeah.
The round starts, you get grid broken, you're just like, I already lost this round. It's that bad. It really is. So I said, if you get hit while you're shielding, and a lot of you watching were probably like, well, how could you get hit if you're shielding? So the way that works is there's actually two shields. It's almost like a parry, kind of. There's a high shield and a low shield.
Yeah.
So most of the time you're going to see players shield low because that's going to shield mids and lows. And like I mentioned before, a lot of characters don't really have good standing overheads.
It's pretty safe to crouch shield in a lot of situations.
Right. So, but everybody has that universal assault, and they also have rebeats. So if you grab somebody while they're shielding, that's a shield break. If you hit them high while they're shielding low, if you hit them low while they're shielding high, that's a grid break. So there's a few different ways to do it, and I know that the way that you shield break them also determines how long they're grid broken for. So
yeah, shield breaking is something that every player, once they get good enough, is definitely aiming for at some point, because it is the best way to punish someone once you read their defensive habit. And that's a really big part of this game, is trying to feel out your opponent's defensive pattern and then just, you know, maneuver around and choose different options that kind of just deal with those defensive options. So that's really where the player aspect of this game comes from, is less so about movement compared to other games, and really a lot more about like what defensive options you have, because there's a lot just under the surface in this game, especially when you're talking about dealing with throws. There's a lot of kind of option selects to deal with teching throws while covering your bases. So this is definitely a game where everyone at high level is doing some multi-layered defensive choices that are going to kind of keep them safe from certain, you know, attack approaches, but not others. So
that's the important part, is there's no single defensive option that's going to beat everything.
No.
So exactly like you're saying, it's all about reading which defensive option is my opponent doing, and then knowing the next level to do the right option that beats that.
Yeah, so adjustment is just such a big part of this game because, yeah, you go into, you do some pressure, you try and get information, right? You see what they're doing on defense, like, oh, okay, he's defending like this, that means I should attack like this. And then the defender's like, okay, he's looking for this now, I need to mix it up. That's a really big part of this game, and it's a lot on the surface, so if you're new, it is very tough to grasp some of it, but we're definitely going to be here trying to explain some of that stuff to you and hold your hand as we're diving into some of the really fun parts of what makes the Under Night a great game. Yeah.